Welcome back, NFL fans. We are going to have the Spread Pick show again for the third year. Usually I do this show with my friend Andrew, but he has started college this year, so he's not going to have the time. And speaking of having the time, I was going to do this show on Wednesday, but it's just way too much going on during the week. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just do this on like Friday or Saturday going forward. I'm sorry it's going to be later, but you got to do what you got to do. So we're going to skip the Thursday games, which sucks because I was on Buffalo last night, but it is what it is. But anyway, we'll do the Sunday games, the Monday games, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave in the comments which spreads you like a lot this week. I'll go over mine. I'm going to do a Survivor pick at the end of these videos. I have not done Survivor. This is my first year of doing it. I have a pick already, so I'm looking forward to doing that. We'll see how long it lasts for, but I will try. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get into it. First game is the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are home, and they are underdogs by 5.5 points. And look, I like the Saints a lot this year. I didn't like that they traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson recently. I liked him, but still, I like the Saints offense a lot. Michael Thomas coming back and acquiring Jarvis Landry, drafting Chris Olave. So much better than what they had last year with Marquez Callaway and Traquan Smith. And for Atlanta, I could see a scenario where they have a decent season, maybe like 7-8 wins, but overall the Saints are in a much better spot. And the Saints are a team that I think will challenge the Buccaneers this year for the first seed in the NFC South, which may be crazy, I don't know. But anyway, while 5.5 points is a lot, I'm still going to take the Saints here on the road. I mean, it's a familiar environment. It is a dome team going to another dome stadium, so that's not a big deal. And the Falcons, although they have A.J. Terrell and Casey Hayward now, I mean, the Saints do have 3 good receivers, so I don't really think that's going to be that much of a big deal for them in this game. And the Saints defense is way better than Atlanta, and Atlanta had a lot of trouble stopping the run last year. It could be a big Alvin Kamara game on the ground, we'll see, but I will take the Saints minus 5.5. Second game is the San Francisco 49ers at the Chicago Bears, and the Bears are 7-point underdogs at home. I just can't really see a reason to pick Chicago. I know 7 points is a lot in the NFL, but looking at the Niners defense and how good they are, I just really don't know how the Bears do anything offensively. It's going to be a lot of Justin Fields improvising and making plays with his legs, which he can do. He is talented, but you know, outside of Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, kind of David Montgomery, like who the hell steps up for this Bears offense? And their offensive line is not good. The Niners, yes, they have the newness of Trey Lance and the awkwardness of Jimmy Garoppolo there with the clipboard. I get all that, but this Niners team should be able to put up points. I mean, George Kittle might be out. He's like questionable right now with the groin injury, and I think Debo had a hamstring issue going on. But they should be able to just run all over the Bears in this game. I know Chicago got a lot of sacks last year, but Trey Lance should be able to evade most of the pass rush. He's very good on his feet, so I'm not concerned about that. And the Bears have a completely new coaching staff. So yeah, I will take the Niners minus 7 on the road. Next is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, of course, coming off their season where they won the AFC. That was great. And the Steelers have a new transition going on. No Ben Roethlisberger for the first time since 2004. They're starting the year with Mitch Trubisky. Kenny Pickett will probably come in at some point this year. But 6.5 points is a lot for an in-division game, especially for a guy like Mike Tomlin who has a bunch of time to prepare for this game. I mean, look, Zach Taylor, it was very impressive what he did with the Bengals last year, but I still think Mike Tomlin's a better coach. That Steelers team has never been under 500 under Tomlin's watch. And while I still think the Bengals will win this game, I think the Steelers will make it close, and it might even go to overtime. I could see that happening, but I think I would pick the Bengals to win this game by 3 or 4 points. I know the Steelers offense has its question marks. Deontay Johnson should play with the shoulder thing going on, but you know, the Steelers defense is pretty much my entire life has been good. They led the NFL in sacks last year. Yes, the Bengals made a lot of offensive line improvements. I definitely know that, but it is their first game together, so I don't know. I'm going to take the Steelers to cover 6.5, but I do think the Bengals win the game. The Philadelphia Eagles, they are at the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are 4.5-point underdogs at home. It makes sense. Philly's getting a lot of hype this year. I completely get it, but I'm still taking the Lions to cover this game, and this could be another game where it goes down to the wire. I feel like for some reason in my head, the Lions week 1 games at home always go down to the wire. I don't know. I just feel like that happens. I know there was that one game in DeAndre Swift's rookie year, I guess 2 years ago, where he dropped the game-winning touchdown versus the Bears. Maybe that's what's on my mind. But Philly has a really good offensive line, but so do the Lions. I think The quarterback position, I'm taking Hurts over Goff, but it's not by a crazy amount. I mean, Hurts has gotten a ton of really good reviews in the preseason and in training camp, so he will probably take a step forward this year. But just for now, I think the Lions are like close enough talent-wise to keep this game somewhat close. I still like the Lions' defensive line. Of course, adding Aiden Hutchinson was going to help out a lot with that. The Lions' secondary is what scares me. I don't know if they can stop A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert for an entire game, but you know, I guess we'll find out what happens there. But Detroit has enough offensive firepower with Hawkinson and Swift and Amon-Ra, DJ Chark to keep up with them. So I will take it to be a close game. I will still say Philly wins, but to cover, I'm going to take the Lions for the spread. Next, we have an AFC East battle here. The New England Patriots on the road at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a -3.5. Not many times in my lifetime have I seen the Dolphins favored over the Patriots, but here we are. And last year, these guys played week 1. The Dolphins won that game by 1 point. It was 17-16, I believe, in Mac Jones' debut. And in this matchup here, these teams had very different off seasons. You look at the Miami Dolphins, a lot of positivity and a lot of praise for what the Dolphins did this offseason as compared to the Patriots, who have gotten a bunch of like criticism and concerns about Joe Judge and Matt Patricia like calling their offensive plays and crap like that. So yeah, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins. I am concerned because this is Mike McDaniel's first game as a head coach. I'm concerned about Bill Belichick's defense against Tua, but I just think the talent on Miami is so much better. I know these teams had similar win totals coming into this year, but I just look down these rosters and I'm like, oh, Miami's a lot better. So the Patriots lost their cornerback one as well. I don't know. I'll just take Miami. Of course, anything can happen here, but I'll take Miami -3.5. Next, the Baltimore Ravens at the New York Jets. The Ravens are a -6.5 on the road. This is a Joe Flacco revenge game here. Of course, Flacco is now with the Jets, and it sucks Zach Wilson can't play right now. I was looking forward to seeing him this year, but luckily it's not like a season-ending injury. He should be back at some point later this month. But for this game, the Ravens are going to be without their starting left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, but they also might be without Marcus Peters, who's questionable. Their starting running back, J.K. Dobbins, also questionable. But I don't care. I'm still taking the Ravens. I feel very good about the Ravens this week. The Ravens always play well against shitty teams, and the Jets, no offense, are not the best team right now. They would be better with Zach Wilson, in my opinion, but I don't trust Joe Flacco. He has, no room to run. Joe Flacco's not good on his feet, and if the Ravens get any type of pass rush whatsoever, it's going to be a long day. And the Jets' main offensive weapons are all rookies and very young guys. Elijah Moore's in year 2. Garrett Wilson's first NFL game. Breece Hall's first NFL game. Michael Carter, second year. And I saw that the Jets' new tackle, Dwayne Brown, is going to fill in for Mekhi Becton. Is going to miss this game and might go on IR. So that's not good vibes for the Jets. The Jets' defense, it might be kind of sneaky good this year, but I just think the Ravens are a lot better. Lamar Jackson's going to be on a mission this year, so I will take the Ravens to win this one pretty big, and I'll take them -6.5. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Washington Commanders, now they're called. I mean, they went from like the R word to the football team. There's 3 different names in like 5 years. It's crazy. Anyway, so I have not taken many underdogs so far today, but I'm going to take one here. I think Jacksonville outright wins this game. It's the first game for Carson Wentz in this offense, and I know Jacksonville has a lot of newness, but it's good newness. Carson Wentz might not be good newness. The Jaguars probably had the best coaching upgrade this offseason, going from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson's a fine head coach. He runs a good offense, and Trevor Lawrence is very talented. Getting Christian Kirk there, Evan Engram's talented. I know he's, didn't have the best Giants career, but Evan Engram's talented. They made some offensive line upgrades with Sheriff, so I just think the Jaguars might be a better team, and it's only 2.5 points, so I will take Jacksonville to win this game. I am concerned that Antonio Gibson might break off a couple big runs here against Jacksonville because their run defense was not very good a year ago, so that's my one concern, and they lost Myles Jack. But that's my main concern here. Carson Wentz hopefully makes a mistake or two, and I'll take Jacksonville to win the game and obviously cover the 2.5 point spread. Next is the Cleveland Browns at the Carolina Panthers. Most years this game would suck, but there's actually a very good storyline here because Baker Mayfield is now the quarterback for the Panthers, and I love that. So it's a pick'em. There's no spread here whatsoever, so it's a pick'em. I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy. You guys know that about me, but I think he will get his revenge here, and there's a lot of newness here for the Browns. Jacoby Brissett, first game here with the Browns, and Amari Cooper's first game with the Browns. The Browns, of course, they could win this game on the ground with Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but, it's a lot to ask for. Carolina was decent against the run last year, to put it nicely. They weren't that bad. I think they were ranked 18th. That's not too bad. So hopefully Carolina can stop the run here and force Brissett to beat them. Baker Mayfield, I I will die on this hill. Baker Mayfield sucked last year because he was playing with one shoulder, and at one point his foot or toe was injured. Like, the guy was just, he shouldn't have been playing last year. Baker Mayfield is a lot closer to the 2020 version as compared to last year. Baker Mayfield does not suck. He is a average starting quarterback. He's somewhere from the 15 to 20 range. He is not in the bottom 5. So Baker Mayfield, much bigger quarterback improvement than Jacoby Brissett. I know the Browns roster is better, but I do like Carolina's roster a bit. It's young. Their defense is young and talented. They have DJ Moore. Christian McCaffrey's back. That's huge. I will take Carolina to win this game. Next is the Indianapolis Colts on the road at the Houston Texans, a in-division matchup. The Colts absolutely demolished them in the 2 games they played last year. The first game, it was 31-3. Congrats, the Texans scored 3 points. And the second game was 31-0. So if my math's correct, the Colts outscored the Texans 62-3 in their head-to-head matchups last year. I don't see that changing. No offense to the Texans. I mean, they were dealt such a bad hand once Nick Caserio took over because they were just ran into the ground by Bill O'Brien, and it's going to take a couple years to get out of it, and I get it. I'm a Giants fan. I completely get getting out of bad holes right now. The Colts, however, they are playing to win this division, make a deep playoff run. They improved at the quarterback position. I saw that Darius, it might be Shaquille Leonard now. I think he changed his name. Shaquille Leonard is out for this game. That sucks, but I don't think it's going to matter that much. Dameon Pierce is, the preseason hype machine for fantasy football. He might be okay in this game, but the Colts also might go up 14-0 in the first quarter. Then they have to pass the ball a lot. So Davis Mills, he was pretty impressive last year as a rookie in a bad situation, but he's not Matt Ryan. Colts offense, they should be great with Jonathan Taylor. He might get 150 rushing yards in this game. Michael Pittman should have a great game. And yeah, I think the Colts win this game by a ton. Oh geez, the New York Giants are on the road at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are a -5.5. I just made a game preview about this. I didn't give like a score or a spread pick, but basically, when I went over that video, I was like, the Titans have a lot of advantages in this game. So with that said, I will take Tennessee to win this game by 6 or more. I don't think it's impossible for the Giants to make this a competitive game, because if the Giants do blitz at the right times and get some pressure on Tennessee, who definitely lost a couple good offensive linemen this past offseason, so, Tennessee's offensive line has some question marks. My concern, though, is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will probably have 25 or so carries. He'll probably break off a couple big runs, and it might not be good. And Tennessee has a very talented secondary, Amani Hooker, and they have Kevin Byard at safety. They are going to have a field day possibly against this Giants passing attack in its first game in a new offense, and Daniel Jones likes to turn the ball over. And I know Daniel Jones' turnovers have gone down the past couple of years, but that was because of the ultra-conservative nature of the Jason Garrett offense. Now it's going to be more of a open it up and push the ball downfield type offense, and Daniel Jones might turn the ball over. So the Giants also might be playing catch up in this game. So I like the Titans here. They should control the clock with Henry, and the Giants offense definitely has some potential for turnovers. Next is a really good game here. I'm looking forward to this one. The Green Bay Packers on the road at the Minnesota Vikings, and the Packers are favored by 1 point. Now, I was very conflicted with this game. I went back and forth multiple times. I love the Vikings this year. Big fan of them. I think they have a shot to win this division, but I just couldn't do it. I was thinking about the Matt LaFleur era in the regular season as the Packers head coach. They've won 13 games every single year he's been there for 3 straight years. The Packers get it done in the regular season. That is just facts. And Minnesota, it's their first game in a new regime here with Kevin O'Connell. I think Minnesota will have success this year. I think they win at least 9 games, and I think they do make the playoffs. But for this Week 1 matchup, I can't go against the Packers. The Packers are without their quote-unquote wide receiver 1 here with Allen Lazard. He's out for this game. But Sammy Watkins, for some reason on Week 1, always goes off. That could happen here. And Minnesota's defense was 26th against the run last year. That's not very good. So hopefully with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, they should be able to run the ball. Rodgers, it doesn't matter who he's throwing to, will put the ball there accurately. He'll control the game. And the Packers' defense is very good. So obviously I could see the Vikings winning this game, but just based on the success the Packers have had in the regular season the past few years with Matt LaFleur, I'm going to take the Packers. The Kansas City Chiefs are on the road at the Arizona Cardinals. The Chiefs are a -6, and I saw that at first and I was like, that's a lot. Like, I really wanted to take Arizona, and I just couldn't do it. I was thinking about Arizona, and I'm like, I like Marquise Brown. James Conner's healthy for now, but I just can't do it. I just think the Chiefs right now are going to put up big offensive numbers in this game. The Cardinals secondary, their cornerbacks especially, are always pretty sus. I can't really trust those guys. I know it's Juju and MVS now and guys like that. It's no more Tyreek Hill, but Travis Kelce's still one of the best tight ends in football, despite being 32, 33, whatever it is now. And I don't know, the Cardinals are confusing. They get off to a good start every year the past couple years, but I just think this is not a good matchup for them, and I think Mahomes in the passing attack has a monster day. Maybe the Cardinals are not getting enough respect here, but I feel like they want you to take the Cardinals, so I'm not going to take the Cardinals. I will take the Chiefs in this game. Next, we have a fun game here, and I really wish they put this one on Monday night. Like, I genuinely don't give a shit about the Broncos Seahawks other than Russell Wilson. Like, it's going to be cool for a quarter, then after it's going to be like, all right, this game sucks. So I don't know why they didn't put this game on like Sunday night, Monday night, but it's the Raiders and the Chargers. These two played one of the best football games I've ever watched last year. The final week of the season, the winner went to the playoffs, loser went home. We know the Raiders won that game. It was awesome. I wanted the Chargers to win, so that sucked. But the Chargers are a -3.5 in this game. Now, normally, I would have taken the Chargers in this game. I would have looked at, I don't like the Raiders. I don't, not a big Derek Carr guy, but I just think looking at this game objectively, which is what I'm trying to do here with these videos, I think the Raiders are on the same level as the Chargers. They're not like that much worse. I think the Chargers are a better team, but they're not that much worse. It's kind of like my argument with the Lions game and the Eagles. I think the Raiders have enough offensive firepower to keep up here. Like, they might be without Darren Waller, but maybe they do have him. I don't know. But even Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow and your running back rotation of Josh Jacobs, Amir Abdullah, and the rookie, I forget his name now, but they have enough guys there to put up points. And Derek Carr, while I do think he's kind of overrated, is good enough. Justin Herbert's awesome. I love the Chargers offense, but this Chargers defense allowed the third most points in the NFL per game last year. They made a lot of defensive improvements with Khalil Mack, Joseph Day, J.C. Jackson, who's out for this game. I get that, but their defense should be a lot better, but I don't think it's like that much better to the point where the Raiders won't do anything offensively. So I think it's going to be a close game, and I just have a vibe that the Raiders will lose this game by 3. And if that's the case, then they cover. So I will take the Raiders plus 3.5. Sunday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of Sunday Night Football, I'm going to miss Al Michaels so much. I already miss him on Sunday Night Football. Like, my entire football fandom life, I've grown up listening to Al Michaels, and it's not here anymore, and it sucks. I think Al Michaels is on Thursday now, but it's just not the same. Collinsworth, Michaels, I'm going to miss it very much. Anyway, so the Cowboys are 2.5-point underdogs at home. I love Tampa in this game. I am taking them. This Cowboys offensive line with Tyler Smith and Terrence Steele at the tackle positions, they are going to be tested. You have Shaq Barrett and Joe Tryon all game. A lot of passing attempts probably for Dallas because, the Buccaneers defensive line is like the best at stopping the run. It might be a rough day for Dak Prescott behind this offensive line. I can't believe I'm saying that. And I'm sure for those of you that are Cowboy fans or just keep up with the NFL in general, the Cowboys splits with and without Tyron Smith, their left tackle. It is very eye-opening. So they are a much worse team without Tyron Smith. He is now out for the season, basically. And that doesn't mean the Cowboys are going to be awful and suck the entire year, although that would be great. But for this matchup against a good Buccaneers roster, who I know they've had some injuries themselves, but still, Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys his entire career, and I still think they have too many weapons to cover. Chris Godwin's status is, kind of in question, obviously, but having Julio Jones, Russell Gage, Mike Evans, that should be enough here, and I trust this Buccaneers defense to, cover their receivers. The rookie Tolbert, of course, CeeDee Lamb is going to be there, and Dalton Schultz, but Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean, they should hold up in this matchup. I just think Dallas is going to have a very hard time getting a running game established, which is what they feed off of. And with that said, I will take the Buccaneers -2.5. Last game here Monday night, the Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks, the Russell Wilson Bowl. The Seahawks are 6.5-point underdogs, right? So I don't think anyone is going to take the Seahawks this week, and with that logic, I'm going to take the Seahawks. I don't know why. I think Geno Smith last year in the 3 games he started proved he was competent. I think he took the Steelers to overtime last year, and they might have won another game in there. Geno Smith was okay. This Seahawks roster stinks. I completely get it. They might be the first overall pick in, 5-6 months from now, but I still think this is a game that Pete Carroll really wants to have. And I think because of that, they will be hyped up enough to keep this one close in week 1. I still think Denver wins it. And of course, Denver might win 35-3. It would not shock me whatsoever. But I just think for that Pete Carroll logic and just, the whole Russell Wilson thing, him coming back, a lot of emotions, I just think for some reason this might be a close game. And Russell Wilson might get off to a slow start. Who knows? It might be very weird for him. So I'll take the Seahawks plus 6.5, but I do not feel good about it whatsoever. All right, so my Survivor pick this week. So the way Survivor works, I believe, is that you can only pick one matchup and one team to win every week, right? And once you use that one team, you can't pick them again for the rest of the year. So I am going to use the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Jets here. The Baltimore Ravens will be my Survivor pick. I cannot use them the rest of the year, so that's pretty unfortunate. But, maybe I should have waited for the Ravens to be a bit more healthy, but I just don't think the Jets have much of a chance here. Sure, I could have taken the Colts or someone like that, but we're going to go with the Ravens. That's going to do it. By the way, leave in the comments your Survivor picks. I'm definitely curious, but that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week on either Friday or Saturday once again. Sorry for the late uploads, but it is what it is, and I'll talk to you guys next time.